gotta say, what I gotta do, how can I do that?
Okay, it's 6 o'clock. I'll call our meeting to order. And Rob, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Bear.
Here.
Mrs. Sweet.
Here.
Ms. Least.
Here.
Mr. Hannah.
Here,
Mr. Avery.
Here.
Mr. Whitaker.
Here.
All members of council are present. Please join me in pledging allegiance to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. This is the regular session of the Enon Village Council. This is Tuesday, June 11th, 2024. Additions to our agenda this evening. I do have a few items of communication. If you would include that under the communications part.
a quick update on the parks, please, old business.
Parks, Mr. Hannah. Anything else?
Then there will be an executive session,
For personnel? Okay.
personnel compensation.
All right, executive session, Mr. Hannah. Are there any other additions? All right, let's look at the minutes of the May 28, 2024 meeting. Just one quick thing on page 3. The adjourned time should be the same as the regular business resumed at 7:06. So I think the copy that you have reads 6:36, change that to 7:06, and it's been changed, Rob, correct, on the master copy?
Yeah, and the official copy, then the
Awesome.
the signed one, it's fixed. I
And-
just didn't print out new ones, just.
Okay, thank you. And Brenda, thanks for catching that.
I'll move that we accept the minutes with the noted change.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Sweet.
Yes.
Ms. Least.
Yes.
Mr. Hannah.
Yes,
Mr. Avery.
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker.
Yes.
Mr. Bear.
Yes.
Okay, those minutes are approved as submitted with the one correction. And Rob, I will turn it over to you for finances. Good evening.
Good evening. Financial statements for the month of May have been distributed to all, as well as the bank reconciliation for the month. One major thing of note that I would draw your attention to on your fund status sheet is the third fund. The balance is now negative $65,000 because we made the $15,000 transfer for the year. Our balances as of May 31 are general fund $239,000, $181.37. Streets, 64,117.67. Our ARPA funds still sit at 130, 176.75. Police levy, 267,981.03. Special police fund, 12,802.34. And our water fund at 354, 350.22.
It's good to see that negative balance shrinking. Maybe we can do a little bit more towards the end of the year. We'll see how it goes. We've talked about that, I know.
Yeah,
So,
so
yep. Okay.
we can review that at the end of the year if you'd like. They do still check on us every month and want to know when that's going to happen, so they were pleased to see that it did happen. As far as the Auditor of State's Office is concerned, I did submit the new fund request package after our last meeting, so now it's sort of in the black hole that is the Auditor's Office. So I don't expect anything to happen before June 30 because they're ending their fiscal year, but maybe we'll see something back in July.
Good deal. Thank you. Thanks for that update.
And unless there are any questions for me on the finances, that ends my report for those.
So you'll need approval from council for the bank reconciliation for the month of May then.
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any other discussion? Okay, call the roll, please.
Ms. Least.
Yes.
Mr. Hannah.
yes,
Mr. Avery.
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker.
Yes.
Mr. Bear.
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet.
Yes.
Okay, those finances have been approved. Any other items, Rob?
Not for me. Thank you, sir.
So just real quick, it doesn't seem possible, but we need to start discussion for the 2025 budget That will be due to the auditor, county auditor, if I'm not mistaken, the 20th of July.
Yes.
So if I look backwards, we have to have a public hearing on that, which means the way the council meetings fall, that would have to happen on July 9th would be that public hearing. And typically we do that right before those public hearings, right before our regular meeting. So that would be at 6 o'clock if that's going to work for the council. Is that going to be good? Okay, so we'll just do the 6 o'clock then. So if that's okay with you, Rob,
Yeah, I have a revenue budget drafted, so it's ready to go whenever we want to have the hearing.
awesome. Okay, so typically, just so council understands that process, the department heads, if there's anything major that they want, they should convey that to Rob to make sure it's in the budget. We use what we would estimate our balances to be at the end of this year, to be the beginning balances for next year. And then that would be brought to council probably at the next meeting if we could, just so the council can review it. And then we would act on it on July 9th. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Our revenue certifications last throughout the year, so we are still operating under last year's certified revenues that were done last summer. And then after the budget is passed in January, we submit that. And all of our appropriation levels were well underneath of what our allowable resources were, so it just carries us through. So we'll start that over again when we do it in July, but we're good.
It just seemed like we finished one and then we're starting another, right? So, questions for our fiscal officer?
Well, one more thing, sorry.
Sure, go ahead.
I did hear from the fiscal officer over at the township, and they had received a bill for gravel at the park that they went ahead and paid, and they wanted to know if they wanted us to reimburse them, or we would take the next bill, or how we want to make even at the end of the year. And then after talking with the mayor, I think that we're gonna try to take the bulk of the bills for the remainder of the year and pay them out of our ARPA funds, and ask them to reimburse us, so that we can show that we have expended those ARPA funds or encumbered them by the end of the year. It'll help us out a little bit if we do the upfront work. Just
Agreed.
for
I
your
thought that
guys'
sounded like a great plan. So. Questions? Okay, thanks, Rob. Let's move into communications. I have just a few things. I received a letter from the Ohio Department of Transportation, and this is a letter of notification that they have some repair work that's going to be done on the existing median barrier walls, either patching or replacing. The thing of it is, it does not give a date, so I might have to do a follow-up here. But this was just a courtesy because it's, obviously the proximity of I-70 to Enon. But let me reach back out and try to find out when this work is going to take place and if it's going to be during the day or in the evening. But we did receive a letter about that upcoming work. Also, on the hazard mitigation plan update, so the Clark County EMA, Emergency Management Association, coordinates this with the government agencies in Clark County. There will be a meeting that will be held on July 23rd to finalize any updates, and we're required to do this. Kevin, is it every 5 years? Okay, so we, as the village, need to turn in our paperwork, which includes things that we're working on, specific questions regarding this particular plan by the 21st of June. And I know you've already gotten started with that, but we will be submitting that and then attending the meeting. If we don't submit the plan, if we do have something unfortunate happen and we were to apply for financial assistance, then we would be denied. So this is very important that we get it done. So, and I know you're working on it, and I'm not sure, Mike, if there's any part of that from the police department's aspect, but we'll just make sure that we get that submitted on time. So, and I had one other item I wanted to bring up. So, in our new park area, and especially the new walking path, there has been increased activity of dog walking. And I am a dog walker. I walk our pet about every day or every other day. And I had a situation happen over the weekend where there was another person walking two dogs. The dogs were bigger than what she could handle, and I ended up having one of those dogs come towards me, and then also a second dog. And I just want to remind people, and it's not like we have 100 people walking dogs down there, but the activity is picking up, and it is a state law and also a codified ordinance for the Village of Enon that people do keep their dog, and I'm just reading what's in here, under reasonable control of some person, whether it be by leash, I use a training collar, or whatever the case is. But in that particular case, it wasn't something intentional, but the person walking the dogs was not able to control those dogs because they were so big. So just a reminder, and I understand the activity out there is going to pick up. They're using that path,
Right.
and which is great, but we just want people to be safe. So, and I did not feel safe at that time. I got to be honest with you.
Do we need to post any signs or anything there?
I think we're going to need a park committee meeting here shortly, and I think we'll probably be looking at a new comprehensive sign for a lot of things down there very shortly, I would imagine.
That would have a list of things on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, once, because we'll have to, when that walking path area opens up, we'll have to have some guidance even on maybe durations or distances too, so.
Okay.
I think if whenever Ben can want to set up a parks committee, and we also need to set up a meeting with the township, make sure we get our bearings straight between both of us again.
Maybe even some waste disposal bags or something and remind them to clean up after their dogs too.
Yeah.
Thanks for that suggestion. Okay, let's go into staff reports. Kevin, I'll turn it over to you. Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, residents. Item number one, the Mayor's Court report in front of you in your packet. For the month of May, there was 40 traffic cases. Total funds received for the month, $3,100. Year-to-date, $15,828.60. Total remitted to the state, $750. Year-to-date, $2,964. Total remitted to the village, $2,320. Year-to-date, $12,747.60. Total dispersed, $3,100. Year-to-date, $15,828.60.
I'll move that we accept the mayor's court report as presented.
I'll second.
Any comments, discussion, questions? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hannah,
Yes.
Mr. Avery,
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker,
Yes.
Mr. Bear,
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet,
Yes.
Ms. Least.
Yes.
All right, item number two, just a reminder, National Trail and Parks Rec Movie Night, July 12th. We did, in fact, try to give them a call and talk to them about using Enon Park, and they were kind of set on Galloway. They had flyers and advertised made up already, and also they like that if it's in like the neighborhood like that people can actually walk to the park. So hopefully, possibly next year, we'll get them down to the other one. So that is July the 12th, movie night. Still don't know what movie they're showing, but item number three, blood drive on June 26th. There's still quite a bit of openings available. If anybody's interested in donating blood, they can go to donortime.com. The time is from 12:30 to 6:30 on June 26th. Item number four, I know we're going through putting mulch down and doing some things recommended by our insurance agent at the park. One thing was suggested to remove or replace is the merry-go-round because it's an entrapment. It sticks up high. There's no skirting on it, and they don't make skirting on it, so people, kids can't get underneath it. So what I was thinking, maybe applying for a nature work grant to maybe replace that or something else, or replace that.
I think
and
that's a
something
great
else, or-
idea.
I got on the Nature Work ODNR site. The deadline is not posted yet, and the allocations haven't been posted yet. So I'll keep an eye on that. But I just wanted to kind of throw that out there and see if council would entertain the idea of possibly applying again and going for some park.
What that cost? Probably about $3,000 for one of those,
Probably
maybe $4,000.
$4,000 for a merry-go-round.
And if we get half of it paid for,
Yeah.
It sounds like a great idea.
So,
We also need to be looking for some ADA compliant equipment or playground stuff down there too.
yeah.
Is that merry-go-round old? Can it not?
No, it is not
It can't
old.
be lowered?
No, we can't,
Can't
because it's
do
not
any-
designed to go
Right.
any lower.
Oh, okay.
We built the mulch up, as high as we could, and that naturally the kids are still gonna scatter the mulch, but we'll, until we get a new one, we'll just have to keep the mulch
Keep putting the
up.
mulch back.
Yeah. We'll just have to keep raking it up and keeping it up.
It's not any different than any other merry-go-round, though. That's the weird part about it. And it was installed by, I think it was Rick, do you remember the Speedway workers several years ago? So it's not like it's 20 years old or something like that. That's the part that I just don't understand. But it is what it is.
The
We
newer
have
ones
to
do
change
sit
it.
close to the ground. I mean,
Okay.
They're designed, this one, the where the bearings are, where we have to grease it is down at the ground, but then there's a stem, like the axle part is sticking way up, and there's nothing you can do to
Can't do
fabricate.
anything with it.
Can't do anything with it. But the newer ones do sit closer to the ground, so they can't get underneath them. So, do we need a motion or anything? Just when that comes available, just
Let's go ahead and apply.
Yeah.
Okay.
Supply. Yeah.
In the meantime, I'll get prices on a few things, and hopefully before next council meeting, I can maybe bring it back and bring some pictures and stuff and some different options. So, item number 5, well number 4, the soft start went out. What is a soft start? It basically they limit the inrush of electricity coming into the pumps so they don't. It improves the stability of the power source so it doesn't get a rush of power. It broke, or didn't broke, it broke down, I should say. There's contacts in there that either stay open or closed. These stayed, let me see which way, they stay closed, so we had to manually turn it on and off at the water plant. And then a couple weeks later, that didn't work. So they actually had to go back to the well and shut the main power off. So the soft start does need replaced, and I did talk with Jason talked to me, and then we talked to the mayor about it. We got 3 different quotes. The one that is recommended, it's the one that's back there is Allen Bradley, and it costs $7,800 just for the equipment, and we expect to probably another $2,500 to install it. There's another one out there, Snyder Electric, that's $4,600. We have no certain references on tech support, things like that on that
We don't
one.
have any experience with that
No
brand.
experience with that one. The other one is Worldwide Electric Corp at $6,100. The distributor that we talked to recommended this naturally, but they do have great tech support after talking with them. And the gentleman that we have working on the telemetry system right now did give us a quote as well, and his came in at $8,500. So it's my suggestion, and after talking to the mayor and Jason, that we go with Worldwide Electric Corp at $6132 to get that replaced. It's actually, I mean, we have to. It's a maintenance issue right now, so it's down, so we have to get it replaced. So I don't know if we need
Is that the equipment and the labor?
that's equipment and labor. Yep, installed, yep.
So we'd ask for a motion and a second to
Yeah.
approve that.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Avery,
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker,
Yes.
Mr. Bear,
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet,
Yes.
Ms. Least,
Yes.
Mr. Hannah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Our lead survey results, we mailed approximately 1,300 out. We received back a little over 480. So that's right around 36%. That's a little bit more than I anticipated.
That's a good response.
But there is a webinar tomorrow afternoon that I'm going to chime in on about this that the EPA is putting on. It's more like a question answer type thing, and I'm hoping to maybe get some more clarity that do we have to have 100%, or what's going to happen if you don't, or things like that. So we are having Tina call in her spare time to people that we have not received from yet. And she's getting some good response over the phone that way. The guys have been going out, with people calling in, that need help with it. They've been going out and doing it for them, so begin getting good response that way. Our next step is to, do door hangers, things like that. We're hoping that, with Tina calling in the response that she's getting, that might, bring in some more. But we had about 4 or 5 come in today, so they're straggling in, but I put the due date on it, and people think, oh, it's past due, I can't turn it in. But no, you can turn them in yet. So if you guys haven't turned yours in, please turn them in. So, but I think,
Is there anybody up here that hasn't turned
He was
theirs in?
looking straight
I
at me.
was looking this way. I think I turned mine in. I don't know.
I went like this.
Mine's in.
So, but
And when
we'll
the
keep
guys
pushing.
are going out and helping them, are they bringing the cards back with
Yes.
them? Okay.
They were not at first,
Okay.
but yeah, they were told that
They're now.
they
Okay,
had been.
good.
So hopefully, those will keep coming in, but hopefully I'll get into more of a clear answer on responses after tomorrow. So, stormwater proposals for stormwater services for the Green Vista Drive extension. I got 2 quotes here. One was from Choice One Engineering, and it's for design, bidding, storm study, surveys, construction plans, staking, drawings. It was $21,500, and the other one was from CMT for the same services, $42,200. So I would like to ask council to approve the Choice One Engineering for $21,500 so we can continue with this Green Vista storm.
Do you know why there's such a variance?
I
That's
have
double.
no idea. I mean, I know
there's
that-
not something missing out of one.
Nope, when we did on another project, the one was a lot higher than the other 2 as well, so I have no idea.
And the good part about it is we're very familiar with Choice One now. They're doing the wastewater line project for us, and
project right
they've helped us on some other. So, but huge discrepancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sometimes missing. But
Sorry. I'll move that we go with choice 1.
a second.
Any other discussion? Okay, call the roll, please.
Mr. Whitaker,
Yes.
Mr. Bear.
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet.
Yes.
Ms. Least.
Yes.
Mr. Hannah.
Yes.
Mr. Avery.
Yes.
All right.
And you want to clarify what fund that will come out of? The street fund.
The street fund,
Yep,
yes, I'm
yep.
sorry.
No, it's all good.
I'm sorry, you threw me there, man. Last on my list, just an update on the wastewater line replacement project. They got in another structure today. They're not working tomorrow. They will be working on Thursday at the plant end to start to ready that area to tie into the plant. They'll be installing the next and the last manhole on Tuesday. That'd be north of the tracks, close to the bridge. We are meeting with, or I am meeting with the construction foreman and the engineer tomorrow morning. They're supposed to shoot me a time to go down to the north end. We initially was going to jet that area out. We had the county jet truck come this morning and try to jet it out, and the pictures that you have is what that pipe looks like. About half filled with calcium and whatever from the softeners,
Calcium and magnesium carbonate.
So, but our intentions was to clean that back to where the elbow was, where they can tie into that, but that's not going to work. So we are going to see how much more pipe it's going to take, so they can bore that in there and continue on. So I'll be meeting with them, and I will kind of let you know what's going
So
on.
just a
with
heads
that.
up, that's going to mean a change order to this project, and the initial amount that we applied for funding wise, the actual cost of the project came in much lower.
Mm-hmm.
So what we anticipate is that the Ohio Public Works Commission will still be able to give us that same split on the increase of that change order. So it's going to mean more money to the village, obviously, but we're hoping that the Ohio Public Works Commission funds will still pick up that same percentage as what the original project was when it was submitted.
Yeah.
So
Kevin, what size is that pipe?
4-inch. 4-inch.
And you're meeting with them tomorrow, did you say?
Tomorrow morning, yeah.
So do you know when you'll have the additional cost?
By next council meeting?
Okay.
I was hoping to have it, because the engineer will have to go back and figure it up and things like that, so I'll have it by next council meeting.
And I'm curious, what is the pipe made of, and how long did it take for that corrode to accumulate?
That's the original pipe, what I understand, when the plant was built, and it's plastic pipe.
So when the addition to the plant was made back in 74 and 75, this line was put in. So that's the line that's been in there 50 years.
Yeah.
So we're getting our money's worth.
Okay, that's not.
Get another one for 50 years, we'll be
Warranty
good.
coverage.
Yep.
Is the warranty ring?
Thank
Yeah,
you.
where's the warranty?
That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Questions for our administrator?
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks,
You're welcome.
Thanks for your report, Kevin. Chief, good evening. I will turn it over to you.
Good evening. Thank you. In front of you, you'll see the May stats. Looks like I had 29 citations notated on there. I'll double check those numbers. Traffic stops, 176, 37 arrests, up from April.
I'm sorry, did you say you were gonna double check the numbers? Is that what you said?
I'm gonna double check the citation numbers just based off the mayor's court numbers there, because I'll make sure my numbers are correct. I see the little discrepancy there, so I will check that on my end, see if there's an error. Secondly, I have you'll have a 8-page packet in front of you. That is from our Axon fleet camera system. We were paying, I will get you one, Mr. Storm. I actually should get you one for sure. I need your help on this. Our light, we had a contract with when we bought our body cameras, our fleet cam. We paid an annual fee. It's now over, which means our storage, our cloud storage for our body cameras is expired. It's actually expired 5/1, but the sales rep was a little slow to reach out to me. There was, in addition, it's a 5-year license plan. You'll see a total price of $20,197 or $20,197.50, but they break that off over a 5-year period at $35,53.92 annually. However, the first installment payment is higher because I need to add an additional body camera, page 3. The cost of that's $789, and then the docking station. When we originally got the body cameras, we didn't order as many. I had individual ones, which takes a separate Ethernet line. So the cost for an 8-bay is $1,638.90. I've been meaning to purchase that for a while. I need to get that regardless, but that's the cost of Axon, and I will, now that I've read those numbers, I will slide this over to you, Mr. Storm, so you have a copy. But because of the price, I need to ask council if it's okay if I enter into a new contract over a 5-year period with Axon, our body cam and cruiser cam, the company that supplies that, and that is, I had to also increase our storage. We were paying a little less storage, but unfortunately I'm about 4 terabytes over. I can absorb some of that, but originally I went with the lowest amount. Now our fleet camera system in our cars, that's unlimited, and that's at the cost we're currently paying, but the body cameras are a separate storage process. And in page 3, you also see where it says a pro license and a basic license. The pro license is the one that has the editing feature, and the basic license is so the officers sign in because everything's linked to the officer's camera, and that is for chain of custody on evidence tracking and all that. And then an additional, sorry, I'm jumping all over the place, but I'm just trying to fast forward a 30-minute Zoom meeting into this presentation. Editing the camera footage for courts and such is time consuming, but Axon did come out with a redaction assistant. It is a $10.85 per camera cost. However, at a few $100 a year, that is nothing compared to the time that I have into it anyway. So it's worth the $800 and some bucks a year. Page 3, it says, yeah, it's like the 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th one down, it says redaction assistant user. That's the one thing I would be adding, short of buying another camera and all that. Everything else is something additional storage, which isn't hateful. I think our last bill was what, 33,000 and some change annually. I think we were paying 3,200. I have to look back, but it was roughly already what we were paying for storage and licensing fee.
So
for
this is
body
going up
cameras.
about $300, $300
Yeah.
to $400. Okay.
But I am, the one thing I did add was that redaction feature at 1080, sorry, it's a very small font, 1085 per camera, but I mean, that's unfortunate you have to pay for extra features, but it'll be worth its weight in gold.
I'll make the motion that we accept the 5-year or allow the police department into a 5-year agreement with Axon, as well as the additional camera and the proprietary knowledge and technology that they have.
I'll second, but I do have a question.
Yes.
What did you say the difference between the pro license and the basic license was?
So the basic license, they can view and they can go back and watch theirs, but the pro license, that's where I can edit it for the redaction for the sunshine law. And then basically it's the admin license. You have to
Okay.
have at least one pro license.
So you have one
Yes.
pro and then 6 of the basic. And
Yes,
then-
currently I'm the only admin user with the pro license, and then the other ones are basic license, correct?
Mike, in a nutshell, the difference of that first year includes an extra camera and what else?
The docking station, so where they charge and where they upload their data.
Gotcha.
Currently, right now, we have single, look like you put your phone in.
Okay.
I want an 8-bay one, because right now we have five charging ports, but we have 6 cameras, so one's always out of it. But again, I added that 6 camera after purchasing those, and that cost of that bay, it was, beginners, right?
One-time
It was-
fee on those?
Yeah, it was
Okay,
cheaper to buy
that's
the
fine.
single ones at the time, 3 years ago when I got them, I thought, but
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
So that's 6 body cams? Is that what that is?
I will be so there's, currently we have 6, I need to add a 7th one,
The
which is
7th
the
one, okay.
price, one-time fee of $789. And I already the PD already has the license for the camera, because we just never ordered that other camera back then, so.
And the only other comment that I would make, if this is a 5 years, maybe somebody put something on their Outlook or something so that we don't run out, since this has expired since May 1st, just so we can reach out to them, I guess.
I will recommend that to them, but they are very overworked, and we operate on their time. But I'm with you. I didn't even know. I didn't know either. But we also we got our car camera ones ladder. They were like 1.5 years on the installation, so it was a lot of stuff. But
Any other questions?
Thanks, Mike.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Bear,
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet,
Yes.
Ms. Lees,
Yes.
Mr. Hannah,
Yes.
Mr. Avery,
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker.
Yes.
I have one other thing I'd like. So I would like to say thank you to Lizzie, Noah, and Abigail. They brought us some cookies and treats in earlier this week. It was very much appreciated. They're absolutely amazing. And thank you so much. Much appreciated from the officers and everybody. That will be concluded.
Nice little treat there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Questions for our chief?
Chief,
Yes, sir.
this top part for the hardware, we're gonna pay all that up front with this year's appropriations, and then split the bottom, the software stuff in fifths over.
Yeah, so the top line, the 5,000 and some change, that'll be page 3. Broken down, the very top.
Yeah.
No, actually,
Actually,
it's
it's
the top
page
page.
2.
I'm sorry. The
Yeah,
page that you
59,
had.
81, 82.
5835, is that 5835, is that what?
59, 81,
Yeah,
82.
5981.
82.
59, 81,
Yes,
82
5981, so that would be this year.
Right.
And then the years after that, and he's got it October, 35392. So that's page 2.
We'll get POs for this.
Yes.
We had a little trouble with their billing in the past.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
Because they're overworked.
I can tell you, don't know what it was, but we
Denied. I'm overworked
we
too.
did caught it. I'm telling you, I'm just passing on the words of the person I talked to today. But yeah, luckily we caught that. But yes, they have, I would say, over invoiced us once or twice.
Okay,
But-
well, we need to keep an eye on that, it sounds like. All right, any other questions for our chief? Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Rick, I'll turn it over to you. Parks,
Okay.
old business?
Stopped by the park today. They're making real good progress down there. Hopefully we'll be able to see some activity there here soon. MR or Mr. Excavating should be finishing in the next couple of days. They had something I've never heard of, a gravel shortage today. So right now the supplier for the gravel, they're waiting on to finish up the parking lot, and then they'll be out of there. So I think they did a pretty good job. They've dressed up the stockpile of dirt. So we've got that behind us at this point. I've asked Kevin to get with the township to get the bush hog down there in the flailer so that we can actually get this nature path or our walking path open up as soon as possible with the bush hog up on the top part of the hill. I've also would ask for council to consider purchase of a tractor if Kevin may go ahead and find it where we could go ahead and mow that bulk area on our own without having to use township resources, which trying to coordinate schedules can be problematic, but we can deal with that once he reports back to council, but if council would be of that nature. Also, we might want to start discussing either park committee or with our clerical staff about how to prepare for these food trucks to start getting them to come in the lot as soon as what we can in order to start getting this project going and getting people in there. We want to try to make, I think it behooves all of us to look toward having some type of soft opening where once that we get the trail in there, once we get the parking lot and food trucks all coordinated, we could actually have a little event saying that the park is open now and to bring people in there. So we're seeing all this that's going to be in front of us very shortly when we get some of these tasks done. But the big task right now is working over the top of the knoll, and I've just sent council all pictures of this just a few minutes ago. I think that's pretty much it. We have asked for a consideration on some type of thought on what we might be looking at as far as making the 800-foot or 750-foot by 750-foot pad so that we're not getting sticker shock right now, but at least we have some knowledge of what we may anticipate for the next step. So, any questions or anything like that?
I just want to say it looks really nice down there. That contractor is doing an excellent job.
Yeah, they've did well. The vast amount of equipment they have, it's money well spent.
And it's going to be perfect for National Night Out. That road can handle two-way traffic. He said, I talked to him today, he said they get two dump trucks going back and forth. So it's going to be a perfect spot.
It would be great if we were able to have that walkway open by National Night Out, which I don't think we'll have any problem doing. I hope we won't. So,
That'd be good. Are you, is somebody already looking at getting tractor quotes or something, or to?
no, this is new. We don't
just
have
kind of
that.
something?
The township has some different equipment, but to try to coordinate with the township every time we
Right.
turn around,
Yeah.
we're going to have to get that for the top of that hill anyway.
Right, I was
and
gonna
it's
say,
going to be
right, to get it, yep.
something that's going to have to be able to go up a significant little incline down there. We talked earlier about maybe at this point just getting a simple bush hog, and then once that we are using the park more efficiently, then maybe look at a gang mower for the back of it. But for right now, we need something to handle that. And I don't think our mowers right now are really going to be that safe maybe on some of that incline up there, very respectfully.
Or can we just get something now that we'll use later too? And
Yeah.
instead of buying two of them, maybe?
I don't know,
Just a thought, I don't know.
Rob, if we could consider maybe some of the ARPA funds for material or for equipment for this or not. I don't know if that's a proper.
I would think it would be 100% for, because it's directly related to the park. That's just my thoughts, but
Yeah, and reserving those ARPA funds for the park has been an internal thing that the council has decided. There's not a limitation from the federal government that it has to be for that park, so. But yes, this would be fully allocable to that.
Good. Any other questions?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
If we were to get a tractor, bush hog, or whatever you're gonna get, we need a place to house it?
I'm sorry?
Well, we need a place to house it when it's not being used.
Yeah, eventually. I don't know if we don't have space right there for it, but,
We just have to do some, for a piece of equipment like that, we'd have to put it inside and put a truck out or something. We'd have to kind of move some stuff around. We're getting tight on spaces.
we're gonna have to deal with it at some point,
Yeah.
you know, so.
Where?
We'll probably have other equipment too, or something that you're gonna have to figure out a way to house.
Yeah, and ideally, at some point, we'd have some type of building that could house all of our equipment
Right,
within house, but,
right.
you know, until the money gods come out, I guess we're kind of out of luck, so. And also, I've not heard anything back on that. We did request $3 million off of that state Senate budget request, but haven't heard anything back on that, which,
I think I saw something.
Probably in the mail.
Yeah, right. I saw something somewhere, and I'm not sure whether it was the same pot of funding or not, the distribution of that. I don't know whether it was in an email or an article, but I saw where, what is it, the Sports Plex Center or whatever in
Champion Center.
Yeah, Champion Center got some money, and then I'm not sure where that sports area, whether it's going to be in the same place or not, the vicinity of that, but got like I think $4 million.
Yep, we're,
So,
we'll keep trying, and we'll
yep,
keep.
try again next time.
One important thing off of this is that we have put a step forward to show potential investors that we are moving forward on it on our own dime, and that's something that's very important to look at on benefactors, that we have put even more funds into it. So happy we've turned some dirt finally.
Any other questions? Okay, Mr. Hanna, you requested an executive session to discuss the employment compensation of village employees, so we'll need a motion and a second.
Do we want to talk if there's anybody out there?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Comments from the public. Anybody? Okay, now we'll go.
I'll make a motion to enter into executive session to discuss wages, benefits, or compensation for village employees.
I'll second.
Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Sweet,
Yes.
Ms. Least,
Yes.
Mr. Hanna,
Yes.
Mr. Avery,
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker.
Yes.
Mr. Bear.
Yes.
And we
Motion to return from executive session.
Second.
call the roll, please.
Ms. Least,
Yes.
Mr. Hanna,
Yes.
Mr. Avery,
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker.
Yes.
Mr. Bear.
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet.
Yes. 7:02.
Mr. Hanna, I'll turn it over to you.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the fiscal officer and police department bonuses as discussed in executive session.
I'll second.
And call the roll, please.
Mr. Hanna,
Yes.
Mr. Avery,
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker,
Yes.
Mr. Bear.
Yes.
Mrs. Sweet.
Yes.
Ms. Least.
Yes.
Okay, and those bonuses will be applied. Rob, I'll get with you and give you the numbers. Mike, I'll get with you as well. So, okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
So moved.
Least.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.